So Claude just released the advisor strategy, and this is still in beta for Claude Code or Claude API, and you can use it to give lesser intelligent agents some intelligence boost by asking for smarter agents for advice. So basically, you can pair your Sonnet or Haiku with Opus and give Opus level intelligence to your agents with less cost. And the results that they show right here is pretty good. So this is how it works. So we have the executor that is a sonnet or a haiku, and it uses a tool call. So it isn't actually an orchestration, a multiple agent system, nothing like that, but it is very similar, but it works only with a tool call. So you can see right here the tool call for the advisor, that is Opus, and then the Opus send the advice to sonnet or haiku. So the executor can have more guidance and a boost on intelligence overall. And they show right here the results. So on the software SWE bench multilingual with Sonnet. So with Sonnet it was 72.1%, and with the Opus Advisor it jumped to 74.8%, and also a reduced cost. So it got better and cheaper. So this is a very good result right here. And in other benchmarks right here, it shows some similar results. So an improvement in the benchmark itself and also in the cost. So this seems to be pretty good. And if we pair Haiku with Opus, we can see that the results jump quite a bit. So it is much better, but the cost actually is higher because Opus is much more expensive than Haiku, but still it is pretty cheaper than using only Opus or actually Sonnet. So we can see the cost right here. So $6 down to $1 and 88 cents to 55 cents. And it teaches you how to use it or using the API. And we're going to actually test this on a landing page that I will ask Claude to build using Claude Code. So we are here on the VS Code, and we can just initiate Claude right here. And all that you need to do is to type /advisor, and then it's going to show this advisor tool. The default right here is no advisor, so you can use Opus or even Sonnet as an advisor. So yeah, let's select Opus. And for the test that we're gonna do, I have two system prompts. So the first one will be a very generic system prompt, so not ultra specific, but just an average prompt that gives a clear output that the agent needs to reach. And the another example will be with a super specific prompt, so it tells the agent exactly what it needs to do. So we can compare if it is best to use this advisor with a hyper-specific prompt task or with a generic task like a planning for a new website, a planning for a new app, or even a researcher or something like that. And we're going to task with Haiku, and Haiku plus the advisor Opus, and Haiku just the prompt, and Haiku with the advisor and the prompt. So let's run this right here with the all 4 agents. And all 4 are using Haiku right here. And we just need to use the advisor. So we need to turn off the advisor for this one and turn on for this one and turn it off for this one and turn on for this one. And then we can basically start. So, and they all will have the same prompt. So follow the CloudMD instructions. That is the each of these files right here. So let's start and wait for them to finish. Okay, so every single one of them finished right here. So the index HTML. And one thing I noticed is that with the smaller prompt, they finish faster, even with the advisor or not. And it was essentially the same time. So the advisor didn't take longer than the no advisor agent. And let's open up the examples. So here we have it. This is Haiku without the advisor and with a generic prompt. And it seems that it couldn't even finish the page itself. We got this text right here, and it isn't very good also. Um, I'm sure we can improve this copy right here, and everything else just blank. I don't know what happened right here, but Haiku couldn't do the page itself. And if we check the Haiku with Opus as an advisor, we can see that it is much better. So we can see that it actually accomplished the entire page with just some minor problems right here with images, but that happens. And you can also see that the copy is a bit better also, and the images are still not great, but it is much better than the other one. Okay, and that's it. So we've got a much better result with the advisor Opus, and this one is Haiku with the prompt, so the hyper-specific prompt. And we can see that there is no header, so there's something missing right here, and this isn't in the center, but we got an image and we got some moving things. There seem to have an issue right here, but that's okay. It got almost everything of this right, and there's also a bug right here, and also there are some assets that are very generic here, but we just need to switch that later. And it also failed on this one, this SVG, but overall it got everything pretty okay. For the Haiku model. Haiku model is the cheapest model, so we shouldn't expect the best results. And Haiku with Opus, we can see that the obsidian here is missing, and but this is in the center, so much better. And we've got the image right here, and this is looking pretty good also. And this isn't right, so this is kind of buggy, and this is also not very good. So, but it got the SVG right, and everything else is basically the same as the Haiku with the prompt. So, and I've also decided to run on the Claude's website, so using Sonnet 4.6, and we've got a much better result than any other Haiku model could. So as you can see right here, the images aren't really loading, but this happens. But this section right here is much better than any other test that we did could. And this is also missing some models, but I guess I didn't specify anything for this. And the SVG is much better also. So Sonnet is a much better model and then Haiku, and it by itself could develop this amazing website. So in conclusion, we seen that Haiku didn't perform like Sonnet at all. Even with the Opus advisor, there is still a lot to work on, and there are some improvements that we've seen, especially on the generic prompt. So maybe for tasks like planning and brainstorming, it will be a very good idea, especially in software development. But in tasks like data extraction or just sending message to a client and things like the business really need, it probably isn't a very good idea to use this advisor. And this strategy isn't actually new. It has some other forms as the orchestration teams. So it is very similar to this. So here we have a main agent. So not exactly sub agents, but we have a main agent that is an orchestrator, and then the orchestrator assign tasks to each agent, and each agent is specific for each task. So this is essentially what it is. So we have the sub agent that is smarter than the orchestrator itself. But of course, having this agent team is kind of complex, and in this way, using Claude Code, it is much simpler and easier to use. And this is specifically for reduce costs and get higher intelligence. So this is a very good improvement, and I can only imagine if we could use this on any model. So even with Gemini, it would be very nice to run this on Gemini 3.1 for front-end design, and we can even think about using some local models that can use this tool call to ask for advice for cloud models, especially in planning for development. So there's a lot of potential in this kind of advisor strategy, and I hope you guys learned how to use it and when to use it, and I see you guys in the next video.